Hello lovelies, welcome back, and we are going to look at another exhumation today. Now if you've been with me through the first two videos, I just want to let you guys know that these are not the gentlemen responsible for Joshua's exhumation. These are actually the gentlemen who exhumed little 7-year-old Jethro Rosales. So again, this is not the cemetery, and these are not the gentlemen responsible for Joshua's exhumation. So today, the gentleman here is going to be exhuming a little boy. I think he's about 8 months old. His name is Christian. And again, if you haven't seen the beginning of these videos, then just understand that this is in the Philippines. This is somewhere north of Manila, and in the Philippines you rent your burial plot, or apartments as they refer to them, for 5 years, and after that 5 years is up, you can either renew that lease and pay additionally, or they will exhume you and your family can either take you and have you buried somewhere else, or they will put the bones in an ossuary, and at that time, they will go ahead and wait an indeterminate amount of time. I guess it just depends on that particular cemetery and their needs. But they'll give it a good long time, and if nobody comes and collects the bones at that point, they're going to be buried in a potter's field. Now, I know it's a little bit macabre and morbid, but that's a little bit of what we do here. So if you were watching Joshua's exhumation, you may remember that we were talking about how the people in the top apartments, like the penthouse apartments, seem to be faring a little bit better than those who are on the lower levels. In regards to Joshua being not quite skeletonized as Jethro was, but being more along the lines of mummified. Now, when this gentleman removes our baby Christian, I want you to notice that the family has packed a lot of relics in there with him. The can was baby formula, there's bottles, there's cups, there's bowls, there's baby soap, there's medicines. And I don't know if this is something that may be of the culture, where you almost bury them like the pharaohs with anything you think that they may need for the afterlife, or if perhaps the idea of having these mementos around was too painful and they decided to just go ahead and bury them with their baby. And now also, if you'll notice, he's putting everything, every scrap, every relic, every memento into that bag that he has very carefully labeled with the baby's name, the plot number or apartment number, his birth date, the date of death, and information about the cemetery itself. Now, upon removal of the casket, you'll see, just like Jethro and just like Joshua's, it is destroyed. The plastic liner is about the only thing that's left. And this is the question that I'm bringing to you. I've done some research, and I've been looking at the insect inclusion in the area, and it seems to me that this may be termites. I know when we're looking at it, you can see huge cockroaches crawling around, so we know that they're in there as well. But if you look at that baby bottle, it has been completely chewed up. And from what I've been able to ascertain, cockroaches usually won't chew through plastic, but termites will if they think there's something in there they may want to eat. They won't eat the plastic, but they will gnaw through it in the hopes that there would be food or something in there that they could eat. And also, if you notice our baby Christian, about the only thing that you're going to see that's recognizable of him is a large plate of skull. Everything else has been completely decimated. And again, with the limited amount of research that I've been able to find, a la Dr. Google, it appears that termites will eat flesh and bone in order to get the nitrogen they need. It's not preferred, but they'll eat it if they come across it. And cockroaches will eat a human body as well, but from what I've been able to ascertain, a cockroach will eat hair, eyelashes, all that good stuff, while termites will avoid hair. And I don't know if you remember, but in the previous videos, you've been able to see remnants of hair. That was about the only thing that wasn't eaten by whatever insect is encroaching upon these graves. So I'm leaning more toward the fact that these are termites that are doing a majority of the damage to these poor little bodies. Again, you can see large cockroaches crawling in and out, so there's no doubt that they're there as well, but it looks to be that a majority of the damage may be from termites. Now, as you guys know, I live in deep East Texas. We are subtropical. We're pretty much in the swamps. And I am familiar with these huge cockroaches, except ours are, here you find them in the wild. They live outside, they live in trees, they will fly directly at your face, and they will eat anything in their path. Termites I am not as familiar with. I know we have them here, but I've never had any dealings with them. So if any of you have any information, I know it's a really niche subject, you know, like who here has information on insects and how they devour the body and which prefer which. But if anybody knows, I would love that information, just because I know it seems morbid, but it's something I would like to find out. And maybe this has something to do with why the lower apartments are seeing more decimation as far as the body is concerned, because the termites are in the dirt and they don't have to travel very far, and then they reach a host body and consume that, rather than continuing to crawl apartment by apartment. By the time you get to the penthouse apartment, perhaps they've settled in other places. I'm really not sure. And I'm sorry to be morbid, and I know this is a little baby and it's a delicate subject, but I just find it interesting, and I would really like to add this to my birth of information. So if anybody has any information on that or any opinions, I would really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much for sticking it out with me until the end of this video. I know the audio is probably a little bit messed up, but again, it's summertime and I've got at least 4 or 5 kids running around the house at any given time. And right now I'm waiting to pick up my daughter and her friend from the movie theater. So I took this tiny little bit of quiet to try to record this for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you back soon. Love you. Bye.